Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation.
It's time to join the conversation. Yeah, I don't have anything to do until the good word.
You sound like Napoleon Dynamite. Welcome to Hardheaded. We're so happy you have joined us today. Gosh. 2024. Matt's in a bad mood already. It's going to go downhill. I'm your host, Chet Sears. As with me, as always, is Matt Amos and Troy Trussell. Today, we're going to talk about what's on Troy's mind. We're going to talk after that about our top 3 ways to relax. Chill out. Don't get all worked up because it's a new year and all these massive goals you got to go accomplish and write them all down, and you're going to end up not doing them and be upset here in just a couple weeks. Just chill out, relax. We're going to give you top 3 ways to relax, and then we're going to hear a good word from Matt. Troy, what's on your mind?
People who think they're entitled to things that they don't put the work in to get. That's what's been on my mind recently.
Entitlement.
Yeah. So, of course, my kids have it. You know, they're getting taught that that's wrong to be like that. But when you come across a human, you know, in everyday life which I do quite frequently. Oh, you do?
Come across humans.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, a human that
Almost daily.
Sometimes it's
sometimes not. But when you come across someone who feels they're entitled to something without putting in the work, it can be really frustrating. And so trying to navigate how to deal with that person can be difficult. And
you lay down the scenario. You're in luck. You lay down that scenario. Dr. Matt right here will teach you what you need to do.
Well, so this scenario was laid down this week, and I've got to be pretty vague. I can't put any names out there or anything.
Oh, we don't need names.
But there was this person upset about something that happened with, you know, something good that was going on with some other people in this industry, and this person was upset that they don't get invited to different things. And this person started complaining about it on their social media. I would show you this person's social media account, but it has been since taken down. So, but it's just been super frustrating navigating through all of it. But it's actually been kind of fun too, to see the responses and to see the community come out and even be as nice as they possibly can to this person and saying, hey, you know, you can have these things, you can get invited to certain things, but you got to put the work in.
Oh, and you could host something and invite everybody else.
Exactly.
It's not just everybody needs to do something for you.
Right.
What's a good sign to say that you are putting the work in? You could do something and invite everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this because Matt didn't get invited to that cornhole deal that you guys did?
What?
Huh? He did a cornhole deal and didn't invite you.
Well, I didn't want him to win.
He didn't want the ringer.
Let me tell you what. He's not that good.
Dude, we did have a cornhole tournament.
3 out of 4 cornhole tournaments I've won.
We did have a cornhole tournament. I got 3rd place.
Tournament. It's like your...
I'm like Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid. Tournament. Yeah, so we did have a foodie cornhole tournament, which was pretty fun. I came in 3rd place. Wichita by EB came in 2nd, and Jack Stacks Eats came in 1st. Those two went at it. I had to play both of them, and they both beat me. That's why I got 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 3?
Well, it's a double elimination tournament.
How many people were in the tournament?
7.
Okay. Top half. Top 50%.
Wait. 6 or 7. Still top half if it was 6.
Yeah.
I beat everybody else I played.
Yeah.
It's just 2 other people.
Yeah. You lost to 2 people and you beat 2 people.
So I beat the Kansas gastronomist, and that's who I really wanted to beat the most.
So
I beat him first.
And so you got out of the gate. You like put your guard down because you got your main win.
Well, and then I beat DJ Carbon 21-0.
Oh gosh.
And then I beat Eddie beat me.
DJ Carbon ever played cornhole before?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he admittedly said I'm not very good.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I got bags at home, so
yeah,
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Until I played Eddie, and he beat me 21-8, and then Chris beat me around there like 21-6. They're both really good. Their game lasted like 45 minutes.
Oh, see, that's not even any fun
because it was just like
let's wrap it up, fellas.
They were just in the hole, like 1 point. Like because they were really good. But yeah, we had a really good time. It was we did it for charity. So there's a restaurant here in town, MIF Deli.
They're Central, East Central.
Yeah, if you haven't eaten
Central
there, it's number one. It's fantastic food.
Yeah.
International. What's MIF stand for? I can't think. Mediterranean International Food Deli is what it stands for. But their son is sick, and they don't know what's wrong with him. Exactly. And so they have a GoFundMe page.
A lot of medical bills piling up.
A lot of medical bills piling up. And so we wanted to bring some light to that, to the community, so that people could donate to their GoFundMe page and help them out. And their food's fantastic. So if you haven't gone and eaten at MIF Deli, if you're in the area, you should go check it out. But yeah, so that's why we had the cornhole tournament. But
Anyway, it wasn't necessarily about the cornhole tournament, but there are people that want other people to do things to benefit them without them putting in the work.
Exactly, and I don't think it was about the cornhole tournament.
But that I'm trying to bring you back into skirting around the directly talking about an issue.
Yeah,
so I think a lot of our listeners probably put up with.
Yeah, so I think like one of my friends used to take his kid. You know him. He used to say his kids were had this entitlement syndrome, right? And so they would purposely get in the car, load up the kids, and go through a drive-through and get ice cream. And he and his wife would just get ice cream and sit in the front seat and go park and eat the ice cream in front of the kids and teach them, like, you're not entitled to this. Like, this is ours.
Yeah.
Like, you did not do anything to deserve this.
Right.
And it was a good lesson in entitlement. And so I always think about that, what he used to do. And maybe he only did it once. I don't know. Maybe he did it weekly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Until they got the picture. But I don't know. My first reaction to that is just like, okay, I'm just not going to associate.
Right.
Because I don't know him that well anyway, so I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to back off.
Yeah.
But if it was a friend of mine, I'd be like, dude.
Right.
Suck it up and work harder.
Yeah.
And then you will get.
Even if you don't, that's the thing. Work hard. That's what you should be doing. And typically people that work hard, things work out.
Right.
And it's not like, hey, here's a carrot. If you go do these things, everything's going to work out for you, but just work hard and mind your business.
We have a mutual acquaintance that would always say that his dad said, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much truth to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough. So with like adults, independent people, you have to deal with that one way. With kids, I found the hardest part with kids is stick-to-itiveness with the parenting, because the kids can grind you down. You can't go away from them, right? So that teaching has to be consistent, day in, day out, day in, day out. Because sometimes when you get home from work and you're really tired, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do that just because I don't want to put up with your mess.
Yeah.
And then you're starting back over after that because
they won.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. If it's an adult, I'm not even going to dial into this call and listen to this crap.
Right. Exactly.
Let's go do that.
But yeah.
Okay.
That's what's been on my mind.
Well, what a way to start off the new year. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with our top, and this will be beneficial since you're all worked up about something. Top 3 ways to relax.
I need to find out how to relax.
At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave.
And we're back. Top 3 ways to relax. Matt, help us out.
Number 3. One of my favorite ways to relax, especially this time of year when there's not a whole lot going on. You know, we're kind of in the middle of extended antlerless season. But typically you've been out there one day, you've got all your antlerless that you're going to do because typically you can get them pretty quick.
Yeah.
So right now is my favorite time of year just to kind of sit in a recliner, drink some coffee.
Okay.
Don't even have to do anything. Look out the window. Maybe it's snowing, and just sit there and chill out and watch the clouds roll by with a cup of coffee in the recliner. And then it doesn't really matter what time of year it is, but that's one of my favorite things to do. But it changes location when it's nicer because then I like to sit outside.
Yeah.
And either have a sweet tea or in the morning coffee, or that would be about it. Because
I've been getting into this afternoon hot tea.
You would.
I am. It's good. It's good.
You would. Do you do this?
No.
This?
I'm drinking out of a paper cup.
Like this?
No.
With pinky up.
How do you drink out of a paper cup? I guess it's like that.
How do you drink luxury hot tea out of a paper cup?
Well, first you put hot water in a paper cup, and then you put a tea bag in it, Troy. That's pretty simple.
I got a tea bag.
Oh my gosh!
It's probably a little saltier than you're used to.
There goes the new year. We're gonna have a year of clean episodes.
It's still clean.
It's episode number 1 of 2024, and Matt is already taking us down the wrong path.
We got it. All right.
Number 2.
Number 2. Watching movies.
Okay.
Just zone out. You don't even have to watch a new one because sometimes you get too involved in a new one. But, you watch the classics that you really enjoy. Just sit back. It's kind of a noise just in the background while you just kind of zone out a little bit. And then number 1, sitting in a hunting blind, doing any of the previous 2. Sipping on your coffee.
Or if you're in my blind, you can make the coffee and breakfast.
Yeah. However, I've got one of those little jet boils if I want to do the, instant coffee.
We have a 2-burner Coleman stove.
So you do perka?
We can percolate and cook some. Then I think the next thing we're going to do is sausage burritos.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting pretty excited about this.
Getting pretty fancy.
Fancy.
And by the way, I'll never be sponsored by Scent Block or any of those other companies because it's a bunch of
overrated.
I don't think it matters. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
They
don't care.
I'm 60 yards from where some of these deer have passed through, having cooked sausage, like steaming. It's coming out of the next day you get there, you're like, somebody cooked sausage in this blind, and we're still shooting deer.
You may have cooked their mom or their dad, and they're walking by.
Uncle?
Smells like mom.
Anyway, yeah, so recliner, watch a movie in your deer blind. That's what you need to know.
I've done it.
Hey, we're going to have to figure that out.
I've done movies in my deer blind. I download them, and I've done it when I'm hunting for buffalo because I hunted
I'm thinking we got to get something bigger than a phone. I mean, we got so many people in there. We can't. It's hard to watch one.
I bring an
screen.
iPad.
I don't have one.
Oh,
should have got me one for Christmas, Matt.
Maybe I did.
I'm entitled to an iPad.
Maybe I did. You got
to work harder, Chet.
I got a free iPad with this phone.
Did you really?
Yeah, they gave me an iPad. They're like, it's on us, and I said, okay.
I'll take that. Do you have another iPad?
Yeah.
You don't need 2 iPads?
You don't want the other one.
Okay. I want the new one.
It's all broken, and it's been used and used.
I'm entitled to the new one. Yeah. All right, I'll go. Number 3, top 3 ways to relax. Cook a new recipe. So one of the things that I find with relaxing is it's even mental, the mental consumption of energy. So if you got something on your mind, even if you're sitting there watching a movie and it's like weighing on you, you're not going to relax. So not to say that
I will.
we could eliminate all of that, but if you were to focus on doing something else, you don't have time to think about that other thing. So find some crazy new recipe that you want to give a shot and go cook it. I enjoy cooking, so trying something new, whatever else,
I love
that's a
cooking
good way
too,
to
but
relax.
that
Hey,
gives me anxiety.
has your wife done beef Wellington yet?
We've done, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because she said she was going to try it. And,
Oh.
and that's something that we,
I'm
we
thinking
talked
the
about.
Scotch eggs.
No,
Yeah.
like beef Wellington.
No, I
we
don't-
had both talked
yeah.
about that, about trying it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, I've never cooked it myself, so
Yeah, I'd rather not do that. It's okay.
I've never even had it, so I don't.
Oh, yeah, it's just, yeah,
Yeah,
it looks really good.
it's complex, but
It's really not.
It's beef. Like, just give me the meat.
Beef in like a cornbread-esque almost bread
Yeah.
type. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Put it that way.
Number 2,
Maybe I just haven't had a good one. I don't know.
man, it could be. That's not like a new recipe that I want to go cook. I'm more on like the Asian food or something crazy with a smoker that I've never done before.
Gotcha.
Number 2, explore. Go somewhere you haven't been. A drive, a hike, a walk. Go down a dirt road that you've never been down and you've always wondered what's down there.
Gives me anxiety. Everything that you've mentioned so far gives me anxiety.
You are a very anxious person.
If I'm going to cook, it's got to be perfect, and then I'm going to be worried about having to make it exactly right. It's got to be done exactly right. Now you're talking about new places. It's like, man, what if I don't know where I'm going? I don't like.
You know why? Because I'm secure in the fact that I don't know everything. I know that I don't know everything. And if I make something,
do you really believe that?
if
though?
I make something and it didn't turn out like I thought it would, I learned that I did something wrong. Or if I turn down a dirt road and then it ends in a big mud hole and I get stuck, I learned I shouldn't have turned down this dirt road. That's okay. It's okay for me not to know something.
See, now if I'm cooking and I'm trying a new recipe, well, I guess if it's by yourself, and you're doing it for yourself, yeah, that's fine.
I would do it for my family.
I'm not going to subject my family to that.
No, because here's the deal. You eat what I cook. You're not entitled to a good meal every time you sit down. You're not.
You're not entitled to a good meal in this house.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I'll try to be vague here as well. There is a new person that's involved with their family, maybe through a relationship or whatever, or maybe not even new. But this person is very picky about their food. So much so that whenever they're there for a dinner, cook 2 different things because there's a very limited list of. And I was like, you're very nice, but you need to stop that. And she was like, what? And I said, you need to stop that. This is a grown man. He's an adult. He could be drafted. If he has very peculiar taste and he's a guest in your home, he's going to have to get over it. Like, you cook a meal, and if he don't want to eat, he doesn't eat. Like, how are we going to continue this until he's 50? Like, when do you stop? It's like, this is the food that we're going to eat. And if you don't want to eat it, then you're going to go hungry.
I agree.
So that's if I mess up a meal, hey, why don't you get in there and try it tomorrow?
Well, but you're talking about a guest.
Recurring. Like, it's not like a one time.
Still a guest.
No. It gets to a point where it's like, I'm not going out of my way anymore.
I get it.
That's just.
It still would cause me stress. Go ahead.
You are high strung. Maybe you need to get on some meds and get your blood pressure down.
I'm there.
They're not working.
Probably not.
Number 1, sleep.
Word up to your mother.
Nap.
That's number 1A.
I am of the philosophy that if it's in the daytime, you do not go to your bed to sleep.
Oh.
Like, your bed is for nighttime sleep. In the daytime, you go to a couch or a recliner
Go right to bed.
to sleep.
Right to bed.
Or a hammock. If the weather's right, go outside and get in a hammock. Sleeping outside
Hammocks
gives me
give me
different
anxiety.
give me different rest than sleeping inside. So taking a nap, even if it's like a
I don't
nap
know if
in a
I'd be able
chair.
to get out of a hammock, for goodness sake.
Yeah, you could. Just take your knife and just cut yourself
Fall
out.
out?
You cut yourself
All of a
out.
sudden, you find me bones in a hammock because I couldn't get out.
Bones.
You got problems, man. I tell you what, all this anxiety. You need to see somebody, counselor wise. Okay, Troy, how about you, man?
All right, number 3, ASMR.
That's gross.
Don't even know what that is.
That's misophonia on crack.
Nope, this is a different kind. I listen to people speaking in a soft voice.
Saying what?
Whatever they want. It doesn't even matter. I don't care.
I am great.
Do you listen to NPR, Troy?
I am wonderful.
When people talk like this?
Good, yeah.
What do people say that make
And
you
people
relax?
like me.
Doesn't matter.
Is this relaxing to you right now?
No, because it's YouTube. I don't even know what to call you.
We stress him out. He's anxious around us.
Don't be anxious, Troy. Just listen to my voice.
I turn on ASMR on my ride home from work so that I can be relaxed by the time I hit the circus when I get home.
You know what
It works, man.
I'll
It
tell
works.
You, today's been kind of weird for me. I was helping my daughter study for a test, and it was actually a citizenship test that they had to take in government or something. And so in helping her study, I took the citizenship test and then
Failed.
They're going to give me 2 citizenships based on my score.
Yeah. Your original country and maybe one of this one.
One for China.
Anyway, the War of 1812 came up, and then I mentioned something about the Tchaikovsky 1812 overture, and my daughter wasn't aware of it, so I played it. Got in my truck this morning to go to work, and that's what came on because that's the last thing that played on my phone. I listened to the classical music all the way to work this morning, and all the way to the studio this evening. So
You know what else is good sometimes?
there you go.
I dig it. I love classical music.
I do
Yeah.
too. You know what else is good sometimes in your car?
egg rolls and soy sauce.
Nothing.
What do you mean?
Like no radio, just
Oh.
silence.
Yeah, I could do that.
I can't do
That's
that.
good.
Some days I get in there and my phone hadn't like kicked in or whatever. And I'll like 10 minutes down the road, I'm like, man, what? Oh, there's nothing
Yeah.
playing.
Yep.
It's great.
There's a song about that called Car Radio.
Somebody
21
stole my
Pilots.
car radio. Yep. All right, number 2, lay on couch and watch golf.
Which leads to sleep.
The nap.
It is so relaxing. Yeah.
That's more of those soft voices. There he is in the number 9.
Yes, it is. It is.
And Matt hits another one out of bounds. He's 400 for today. He has lost 4 balls so far.
What do we got here? He just shoved that club up Chet's butt. Look at that, Jets. That's definitely not acceptable on this course.
We're going to start an ASMR YouTube channel with you two.
No, I don't think so.
All right, number 1, hot tub.
Gonna make you wet.
Hot tub.
Gonna
is
make you sweat.
Gonna make you
very relaxing.
Well.
Man, that's a people soup, man. I can't do hot tubs.
I have one in my bathroom, and it is fantastic.
What does that mean?
I
Like
got-
a real hot tub?
It's a 2-seater hot
Are you
tub
like
in
Chet
our
with your like
bathroom.
10 Christmas trees and 6 foyers and 18?
Oh, no. It's
We got
just
the main
a.
Christmas tree, and then we got the Christmas tree downstairs.
It's a. You know how hot tubs with like 4 people? They have those 4
Yeah.
people. This one's like a 2-seater. It's like a seat here and a seat here. It's a whirlpool. It's fantastic.
It's still just human soup. I don't. I'm not a fan.
There's a
Missing out.
Seinfeld episode about that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know that one.
Yeah.
I was hoping because off subject, but I sent both of you because we were talking about. I can't remember. I think we were talking about the top 3 categories, and we have one coming up. And I sent you a picture, and I was hoping you were going to relate that to the Seinfeld episode, which is one of my favorite lines ever in that show. Is when Kramer's riding in the car, and the guy asks him, "Where's where's the gas gauge at? And he goes, oh, the needle broke off all the way back there.
I watched that one just the other day.
I love that. I love that. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Troy.
It's not the hot tub that Kramer, it's the bathtub, because there's two different episodes. The hot tub episode.
He has the huge hot tub in his
and the power
apartment.
goes out,
Yeah.
and he stayed in it with the windows open,
Right.
and he got cold, and he couldn't keep his core warm.
Yeah, I remember that. one.
And then there's a bathtub, and he doesn't want to take baths because they did a shower head thing. And this is what he says about bathtubs.
Have to move back to Florida, isn't that great?
Yeah, well, I'm really happy for you.
Hey, you're not giving it to me, man. What's wrong?
I just took a bath, Jerry.
A bath? No good?
It's disgusting. I'm sitting there in a tepid pool of my own filth. Kinds of microscopic parasites and organisms having sex all around me.
Hey, you used to sit in that hot tub.
Jerry, that was superheated water. Nothing could live in that.
Chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, Matt. Superheated water.
Yeah, I'm not a hot tub guy.
Nothing could live in that.
I'm not a hot tub guy. But that's relaxing to you, huh?
It does, man.
So basically what you're telling us, Troy, after a long day of work, you want to go to your house, listen to people speak softly in your ear, and lay in a bathtub.
With some golf on, maybe.
That's kind of funny. If you add it all together. I just
funny.
need some alone time in the tub with the golf on, okay?
It's definitely funny.
That is really good. Matt, you got a good word for us?
I do.
All right.
And on the topic of relax, I think one of the best ways to relax, because you're trying to you're trying to chill out. You're trying to
let it all go.
You're trying to let it all go.
Don't let it stress you out. Don't be anxious.
You're not trying to have any anxiety or worries.
Right.
And how do we do that?
Go to God.
Through
Prayer.
right? And so I was coming through because recently we've brought it up. That's one of my things is I experience anxiety, and I typically keep it pretty well under control. You know, it's managed because everybody experiences anxiety about something. And I got to thinking to myself, do you think Jesus ever experienced anxiety?
Yes.
I would agree, right? So, when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane before the crucifixion, Jesus knew that his arrest was imminent. And it says in Luke 22:44, and being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. So right there, it says basically that he was experiencing extreme anxiety. And I can't even imagine the amount of stress that he was going through, knowing what he was going to have to endure, because he knew the beginning and the end and the middle. He knew what it was going to have to take for the end result to save man. And so I think about that and I'm like, everything that I've got to deal with is nothing compared to that amount of stress that he went through for us.
Yeah.
But in enduring that stress, because he was our model to follow, right? And I'm experiencing stress because at this point I'm God, but I'm also man, and I have the full range of emotion that man has. So here I am, and here's how I'm going to handle it. And so he prayed more earnestly and said, God, take this cup from me, and
Right.
and he was praying earnestly to have God take this off of him. And in Hebrews 12:2, it says, for the sake of the joy that lay before him, he endured the cross, ignoring its shame, and is now seated at the right hand of the throne of God. And so by leaning on God and trusting him, we come through on the other side closer to God as we should be, until the ultimate goal is when we eventually join him. But that was the model for us. And so it gave me, great comfort, actually, because I wondered that myself. I'd never really considered Jesus and anxiety and as having any, but the more I read and studied, I was like, why wouldn't he have?
Yeah.
Which is adds even more credence, because the disciples had that same, it even probably more so than the creator of man, had more anxiety, more as they met their own demise.
Yeah, I think there's twofold. Number one, a lot of people have anxiety about what they don't know. And in Jesus' case, it was about, he knew what he was about to go through. Right? So it's like, man,
this is going to suck.
It's going to be a hard day.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of times we are freaking out about just not knowing what the outcome is going to be. And the potential outcomes are not as bad as what Jesus had, right? So I think a lot of times we get anxious about things that we shouldn't be anxious about. In fact, the Bible says be anxious about nothing, but with prayer and petition, present your request made known to God, and the peace of God, which passes all understanding. You have to quote the reference for that. I'm not good at references. But so he's saying, cast your cares on him. You don't need to be anxious about that. And the reason that he's telling us not to be anxious is because that's something we tend to do, Yeah. And a lot of times we get spun up on things that we don't, just because we don't know what the outcome is. And I think there's nothing that could take us, when this is in Romans 8, they could take us away from the love of God. So whatever that is that's coming may suck, may not suck, but it's not going to separate you from God.
Right.
So take a chill pill, get your
relax,
get your bathtub
through prayer
water
and supplication
where it needs to go.
Philippians 4, 6, and 7.
There you go. Thank you, Troy. That's good, man. I think that's good. Relax, chill out.
Chillax.
God's got it.
And he made a path for us. He's been there. He's felt the stress of a given scenario as well.
Which, and I've also said this before, but it also adds more credence to him being the Savior of man, because all these people, the disciples who met their death, did so firmly convinced. And why would they follow and do that for somebody that wasn't
when they had an
the
out.
Son of Man? Yeah.
Yep. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.